And I just picked up this Power Slingshot SLV. This is a 17.5 motor. This is the main brand, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure who makes their motors. If you do, put in the comment below. I believe it is Surpass, but I could be wrong. Now, this is a dual port end bell, and it does have these little rubber bits that you can leave to cover one up. That way you don't get dust, grime, whatever it may be. I'm going to use the bottom one. And we're going to be testing the kV of the motor as well as the timing. See how it does. And then at the end, I will have a spreadsheet to make comparisons. Now, one of the things to note, if you look at the lamination, you can actually tell from here, there is some corrosion, so there is some rust on the lamination, which is the first time I ever see that. So this is A will go over here. This is C, and then B will go in the center. And let's try the timing. This motor will be going in a touring car, so this will be 17.5 touring car. It will be running in blinky mode, therefore timing in the motor is very important. That's all the time I can have. So the average is 30 degrees, and we have a 33, 32, and 26. That's a little more than I would like to see, especially between those two. That's a 7-degree span between the two. I don't really like that. Could just be this motor. All right, well, let's try KV, see what we have. And I'm gonna go top green, top yellow, top red. It's about 1944. And 23, say 18. All right, now I'm gonna change the timing. It's set at 30 out of the box, so I'm gonna go ahead and change the timing. And we will go to 35. Now, a very important thing is to not over tighten the end bell, but also don't leave it too loose. So if it's too loose, it can accidentally fall out of timing because the wire will put tension on it, usually. Right, that should be about 35. One of the interesting things about this can is the marks only go up to 50. They do not go up to 60. I find that interesting. Then again, you really don't want to set your timing at 60 because at that point your motor wants to rotate backwards, so it creates more resistance. You're going to overheat your motor. It's going to be very inefficient. Let's try timing first. Let's make sure this doesn't fall off. See if we're close to 35 degrees. Hmm, 35 average. 37, 37, and 30. Again, that's a very large spread. Let's go back and we'll do KV. And again, I will go top green, top yellow, and then top red. On the spreadsheet, I will only have the top red. $12.80 approximately. Oops. Let's turn that off. Accidentally hit the wire. All right, we can go top yellow now. All right, 1968, 2356, 2360. All right, can go up to 2384, I believe I saw. All right, we will change the timing again. And this time we will try for 40. That's about 40. And let's try timing again first. Should be about 40. And we're looking at about 41 average with a spread of 44, 47, and 37. So still that 7 degrees between A and C. And let's do KV now. Not much difference. I believe the other one was at 1200s. All right, there's difference there, 2000. So about 2450. Now let's go to 45. I may or may not do 50. That actually sounded better. The other 17.5 motor that I've been running has been in my buggy. That one's a Fantom 17.5. So I'm curious to compare the difference in the kVs as well as the amperage, how many amps it consumes. Let's see, 47 timing with 49, 49, and 43. Right, slightly less of a spread, it's 6 instead of 7. Let's do kV. That's actually lower. The other ones were at 1200. All right, this is higher. So low end, you're looking at less kV. Once you go higher end, the kV increases. Now we're looking at 2740, roughly, 50. All right. Head. Let me move the end bell all the way to the end. So the very last mark, which according to this should be 50. And it appears that mechanically that's as far as it goes as well. Now this motor is about half the price as many other motors. It's about half the price of the Fantom and the Trinity, for the base model Trinity. Those are roughly, let's see, 50 degrees, that's good. 53, well, still quite a spread, 7. All right. So that's the reason why I'm trying this one out. I'm actually going to try it for a series and see how it does. Alright, so that's 1166. 2265. And about 3050, and the amperage was just over 6 if I saw that correctly. I want to put the data into a spreadsheet and then I'm going to do the comparison. Here's the data table for the Power Slingshot motor that I just ran. So 17.5 turn, here's my Fantom 17.5 turn. Now the degrees, we don't really quite have a 30, and here notice the voltage 7.4, so I went ahead and adjusted for 7.6. This would be for RPM. That's the difference, so I can compare the RPM. Now if we look at 30, the consumption here for 30 is 1.5 versus 2.4, so this one consumes more energy. That means is this one's going to have greater power, and well, notice the kV difference. This one will probably just run longer, so it won't drain your battery, which is not an issue considering the batteries that we're using. But if we go to a more fair number, say 36 versus 35, these timings are much closer. We have a 37, 36, 37, 37. This is where the spread is right here. But kV, this is quite low. kV here is quite low in comparison, but not surprised given the consumption. This is a 1.7 versus a 3.5 amp consumption. If we went all the way, let's see, do we have a 45? We have a 47, so 47, 47, right? 49 to 46, 49. All right, well, this one's more consistent. Let's see, so what we have here is the following. We have 2752 kV versus 3228 kV. Now, if we look at the RPM, this is what we're using. We are looking at 21,191 versus 24,533. So even with lower voltage, this one has greater RPM. Now, I do not remember the size of the rotor. There is a possibility this one could have a 12.3, which would give it the greater RPM. This one has a 12.5. Therefore, if that is the difference between the two, that means this one simply has more torque. It's not going to wind up as easily. This one's going to have the RPM, so that would explain the RPM difference. The interesting thing is the amp consumption, and I don't really have any. Oh, well, here, 2.4, 2.4. So if I compare those two based on consumption, here we would be at 27 degrees, which is, the end bell probably read 30, and this one read 40. Let's see what we would have. 2451 versus 2907. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe if you have not, and comment if you have experience with any of these. Please share it as well. Until next time.